What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? New show alert. So we had the debut tonight of the T.S. Madison experience over onto the We TV. Now I love me some T.S. Madison, so I'm a do this review, and I'm gonna review it like I review all my other shows. But I love me some T.S. Madison. Okay, now we start this episode off with TS sort of introducing herself to people, who she is and what she does. Because, as hard as it is for me to believe, there's a whole lot of people out here who probably are not familiar with T.S. Madison. So, T.S. Madison, first of all, is the first black trans woman to star in her own reality show, right? She is an internet superstar. She has the Queen Supreme Court over on YouTube, and that's where I first met her. I met her when it was the Queen's Court, and she had another co-host, and then it has evolved over the years. And so we see where, she is making some moves with the Queen Supreme Court, right? She wants to, right now, there's a revolving judge situation where every week, before COVID, the show came out every week, and there was a different judge. There was also a version of the show that went on the road, which is where I met her when she came to Baltimore, and she takes different judges with her on her road trips. And so this is pre-COVID, and so they still doing all of these different things, but what she wants to do is have one judge, and she wants a residency. She wants to, instead of move the show from city to city to city, she wants the show to stay in Atlanta, which is where she lives, and for people to come there. So, she reaches out to her friend Tiffany New York Pollard. If you guys don't know who she is, taking it back to Flavor of Love. She is the queen of reality TV. Let's be clear. She's definitely created a lane for herself, and so her and Madison are really good friends. They've collaborated on things in the past, and she's been a guest judge on the Queen Supreme Court many times in Atlanta and also on the road. So she reached out to her. She's supposed to be coming to Atlanta, and when she comes to Atlanta, Madison is going to let her know, hey, I want to do this permanently. I want you to be my permanent co-host, basically. And so she's excited about that, and she's trying to put some things in place. So we get to see the behind the scenes of the actual show. And her guest judge this time is Miss Sophia, who I also met, because that's who was with her in Baltimore. Miss Sophia is hilarious. She also does YouTube. She has a radio show and things of that nature. So we see them, we see the chemistry there, and we meet her team. So we meet Chi Chi, who is her assistant, also her daughter. And she explains that, her and Chi Chi go way back. She, brought Chi Chi to come live with her, and their relationship has just evolved, and that's her child, Oliver Twixt, my boo thing. My intro, Oliver actually did my intro for this video that y'all just saw, and also for my throwback videos. He actually did my my intro. So I definitely love Oliver and what he does, and he is her creative director. He does all her editing and all of the stuff that you see, her promotional stuff online and things like that. Then we have Craig, the writer Stewart. Craig is her showrunner. Craig is a diva. I mean, I knew Craig was a little bit of a diva, but I didn't know Craig was a big diva. Craig was like, listen, there are people here who work for Madison. I'm not one of them. We collaborate. I said, oh, okay then. I mean, if you collected a paycheck, you work for her, but okay then. Okay. I'm just saying, you get a paycheck, work for her. But anyway, moving on. So, and then we have Legra. Legra is her manager, right? So we see the show. Now during the show, things did not go right. The system crashed. TS was not happy about it. She was irritated with the whole situation, and you definitely understand that. She was like, you putting a product out, you want it to be perfect, you always want it to be a good product, because that's what brings people back. And because the Queen Supreme Court is a live show, anything could go wrong. And, I've watched the show sometimes when things happen. You know what? It is what it is. Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it's a live show, and you just listen. Then we have Miss Mary. Now, Miss Mary is her mama. Miss Mary is a mess. I met Miss Mary too. Well, I met the whole crew. I met Craig. I met the whole crew when they came to Baltimore. It was really, really a great experience. But Miss Mary is, that's her mom, and after every show, Miss Mary cooks, and they have their production meeting after the show. So of course, after this particular show, TS is not happy because the show crashed, and they had a whole moment. Oliver was like, "Listen, I'm gonna chop and screw it. I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna put it together, and we're gonna upload it, and it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm gonna have to edit it accordingly, and we're gonna have to do what we have to do." She tells her team about wanting to do the residency, and the team is like, they talk about it, but the team is like, okay, we're going to have to make it happen. Now, we find out later on in the episode when Legra and Craig are out looking for venues, Craig is not here for it. Craig is not feeling it. He's like, and he has some valid points. Craig is like, listen, we did really well going on the road. We sold out shows. We made a lot of money. And people feel like, listen, it's a one night only situation. We gotta go. We gotta, we gotta see it. It's coming to our town. We gotta make it happen. And I kind of agree with that. He says, you put it in one place, people are like, oh, well, we can catch it next week, or we can catch it next month. Oh, I already did that. I want to do something different. He said, and when you putting a venue in place, basically, you are obligated to that venue every week, whether you sell the tickets or not. And yeah, we might do pretty good on the front end, but as weeks go on and people start getting used to it, it just may not hold people's attention if it's in one set place versus traveling around. And so he is just not here for it. Now, Legra is like, listen, Craig, you bringing up some valid points, but at the end of the day, if that's what Madison want to do, then we're going to have to make it happen, whether we like it or not. We work, well, everybody except for Craig seem to think and know that they work for her. Craig, the only one I think is a little confused. But she's like, that's what she want. We got to make it happen. Like, we may not agree with it. We voiced our concerns, and she's told us, but we're going to do it anyway, and so it is what it is. Like, let's make it happen. Now, back at the house, we have Oliver and Chi-Chi, and TS is like, Oliver, chop chop. Like, what's going on with my episode? Why it ain't ready yet? Why it ain't loaded yet? And Oliver was like, listen, I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Nope, rewind. See, I done got ahead of myself. TS is opening her mail, and she's going through all of the gifts that people bring her and, send her, and the wonderful things. And people even send Miss Mary some things as well. So we had this funny scene where she trying to squoze up in this body dress that somebody done bought her, honey. Listen, she got in it. I don't know how she got in it. I don't know what kind of body magic she wearing, shape shifters, but she got in the dress. Now, I ain't going down. When she turned around, Miss Mary couldn't stop laughing, honey, because when she turned around, it was a whole nother conversation going on in the back of that dress from the front of the dress. But anyway, then there was a package for Miss Mary, and it was a letter attached, and it was a really, really sweet letter that was, basically thanking Miss Mary for showing the world, what a supportive mother is when dealing with, something you may not necessarily understand all the time. And, Miss Mary has been very, very open about her journey and about her acceptance of T.S. Madison, and showing people that, hey, this is still my child. I'm learning. It's a process. I may not always say it the right way, or it may not always come out the right way, but this is my child. And, one thing that was in the letter that I thought was so deep was there would be less suicides and less homicides if there were more people like you. That's a deep thing to say, because we know that the trans community is a targeted community. It's not just, the LGBT. No, the trans community. Trans women, more so than men. I'm sure trans men, but I hear about the trans women way, way more. Turning up dead all the time, and it's as if no one cares. And so I just thought that was a deep letter. Whoever wrote it, kudos to you, kudos to Madison for reading it, and kudos to Miss Mary for inspiring the letter. And Miss Mary is like, listen, I'm still learning. I'm still figuring it out. We're going to get back to more Miss Mary and her journey later on in the episode. Now we're going to get to where I was because I was out of order. Okay, I was back to the back of the order. Um, then we have the Chi Chi, the Oliver and the Maddie situation, and Maddie is getting on Oliver about getting her episode up, honey, and he's working. He said he got a lot of film to edit, a lot of footage to go through, and they're down in the kitchen area, um, of the mansion, the mansion that the TS lives in, and Miss Mary is cooking. And y'all will notice that Miss Mary's in her chair a lot. Madison explained that Miss Mary has rheumatoid arthritis, and it's something that has been very debilitating to her. So she sits down, when she can, as much as she can. But she can cook. Listen, I ain't never had none of Miss Mary cooking. Maddie, can I get an invitation? I'll be good. I'll be good. I'll take my shoes off at the door. I'll wash my hands. Can I get a plate? No. I'm just saying, when I come through Atlanta, can I get a plate? Moving on. So they have the Miss Mary isms. Now, if you watched, was it Behind the Bench, when TS used to talk to Miss Mary, and Miss Mary all the time had these isms, honey. Miss Mary, they from Florida. Miss Mary got that deep country twang, okay? And things sometimes just don't always come out the same with Miss Mary. She say strewed instead of screwed, right? She said stream instead of scream. Like, she got a whole thing of isms, and I feel like at some point Maddie gonna put a book together of the Miss Mary isms. So they had a whole moment of Miss Mary isms, and what you saw in this moment is that the chemistry. This is what they do. This is who they are. It was almost like the camera wasn't there, and this is just a normal afternoon at Maddie's house. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what they do. They laughing, they joking, they making fun of Miss Mary, and she was there for it. She was like, listen, they make fun of me because my words don't always come out right. But you could tell it's all in good fun, and they don't take it. Miss Mary don't take it, to heart, But it's all in good fun, and they had a good time. And then they got into a really, really deep conversation with Miss Mary about, once again, getting back to Miss Mary's journey. And she said something that I thought was deep. She said, it was like I lost my son but gained a daughter. She said, I gave birth to a son. And she was talking about how when TS left. And she said how hard that was for her when TS left. And TS said, listen, when I turned 19 years old, I had to go. Because there was family around that just didn't accept me because I was gay. And I knew that I had all these emotions and I had all these things going on with me, and I didn't understand it. And I needed to go and experience and figure it out. And at the end of the day, if I figured out a way to love me and accept myself for who I am, then I can allow other people to love me. And so where I am now, I can look back on it and understand what my mother was going through and have empathy for her. But at the time, it was survival. I had to take care of me. And again, it's a process that, Miss Mary, again, they still working through it, because Maddie was gone for years. She said, I didn't hear from her. I didn't know what was going on with her for years. That this was a process. And so, Chi Chi and Oliver are both gay. And so they had, they spoke on that, if y'all didn't know. I didn't know if y'all knew. Craig gay too, y'all. I don't know if y'all know these things, okay? I'm assuming because of what I already know. The other thing is, I'll say that at the end. So we have Oliver and we have Maddie outside. Oliver was like, listen, I love Maddie to death, but I need her to just leave me alone and let me do my job. Like, she is following me and I'm trying to get this done. She says she want to upload it. I'm trying to get it uploaded. But every time I move, she moves just like that. I just need her to leave me alone for a minute. But they go through the footage and he shows her what he's done, and she's happy with it. And she was like, you know what? Oliver did his thing. He did his thug thizzle, and he got my episode up on time. And, that's why I keep him around, And then we had the moment that all of us have been living through. If you're looking at any shows that came out in the fall, we are all living through the same thing, COVID. And we're all seeing how COVID has affected all of these shows. And so they're sitting on the couch watching TV, and there is her, Chi Chi, and her mom, and it's COVID. And Miss Mary said, listen, I've been paying attention. Like, I don't know everything about the 19, but I've been paying attention to what's going on with the 19. And at the end of the day, what we need to do is start washing our hands. Okay? Staying away from each other and staying in the house. Like, that's what we need to be doing. And she said to Chi Chi, listen, I have some conditions. And I know you young and you like to go out and party and do what you do, but I really need you to stay in the house for me because I can't afford to get sick. And so Maddie asked Miss Mary to, leave the room so she could have a conversation with Chi Chi. And she said that to him. She said, listen, my mom, I can't afford for my mom to get sick. She has some pre-existing conditions, and this thing is getting real now. Like, we see that it's traveling all over the country. Like, it is getting real. And I can't afford for my mom to get sick. So I really need you to stay in the house. And, he ain't want to hear it, but he said, okay. But he was like, I'm not about staying in the house, but okay, I hear what you're saying. Now, she goes downstairs to call Tiffany, and Tiffany is like, listen, Maddie, I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's going on, and you know how much I love you, and I don't want you to think that I ain't here for you and I don't have your back, but, baby, I'm not coming to Atlanta. Okay, this COVID thing is real. The numbers are going up. I couldn't even get dog food down to the store for my baby, for my puppy, okay? I can't get on no plane and come to Atlanta right now. I'm sorry. I don't want you to think that I ain't here for you and I don't have your back. But at the end of the day, baby, it ain't happening. And so that's where the episode ended. Listen, I'm going to say this. I liked it. I definitely like some of these conversations that they're showing us, because here's the thing. You have the platform. I appreciate the education. And as the season goes on, I'm sure it's going to be more and more moments where we are getting educated and we're learning and we're getting a glimpse of these other things. I was surprised at some of the parts where they left some stuff in. Like, they left in there about Chi Chi talking about he loves to smoke his weed. They left in there some conversations about anal stuff and sex stuff. I said, okay, we TV, letting TS be TS. So, I'm here for it. I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments, y'all. Peace.